show. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in upon further review with your host Aponte. That's me. Listen, first off, you like what you see, you're having a good time, you're entertained, hit it with a follow, hit it with a subscribe. If you already done that, you followed and subscribed on Twitch, jump on over to YouTube. My YouTube channel right here underneath, at Coach Aponte. It's the same thing. Alright? Same thing. If you're already subscribed to Twitch, get on that YouTube. We're growing everything here. Let's dig into this. It's going to be a big week. Number one, first game on the menu, Jacksonville, Houston, AFC South matchup. Jacksonville wins it, 39-32. Tougher than probably expected, but Jacksonville goes ahead and they just outscore their opponents. Their offense is too good. Their defense is good enough to come up clutch in certain areas. They jump on them 14-0 in the first quarter. So to be honest, at that point, you probably have to understand that Malibu at this point is thinking, I'm going to beat this dude by 90. Maybe that affects a little bit of play calling in the second half because he was also up 21-10 at the end of the second. So never really a threat. Hey, this episode brought to you by Rockstar Silver Ice. You tired? You got kids? They keep you up all night? Drink some Rockstar. Let's dig into this. Hey, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. Get the chat going, man. You got Big Bus in here. Keep the Tesla going. Gas is $6 a gallon here in California. Hashtag blame Biden. All right? Get yourself a Tesla. Let's dig into it. Listen, rushing yards and passing yards. A lot more balance here from the Jacksonville Jaguars than there was the Houston Texans, which is a concern because the Houston Texans have Najee Harris, one of their better players. 59 rushing yards is just not enough. Turnovers, of course, are going to tell the story. 3 turnovers for Houston, 1 for Jacksonville. Let's take a look at the stats here, guys. Zach Wilson, another easy day. Easy money for Zach. 286 in the air, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 14 of 21 for 66%. And listen, this is what we're going to say about Zach Wilson. Hey, we thank you, my guy B. Jeezy, for the follow. Hey, nothing but love. We appreciate you, my guy. Zach Wilson, 66% here. All right, he takes 3 sacks. And here's the difference between good quarterback play and bad quarterback play. Taking a sack instead of forcing a throw and throwing an interception. Zach Wilson takes 3 sacks. If he doesn't take those, possibly he throws into coverage, throws an interception, changes the course of the game. That's what good quarterbacks know how to do. They don't want to eat the ball, just like how they know how to throw it away when it's time to throw it away. Steinbach, not a good quarterback. Yeah, he gets 363 in the air, but what does that do? Doesn't do anything. It's meaningless, empty stats. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. That's what cost them the game. And 2 sacks. I'd rather see him take a couple more sacks and eat those interceptions. Play it second and long. Play it third and long. Just don't give the ball back to a dangerous Jacksonville team. Let's go to the rushing. NTN, 13 rushes for $130. I mean, everything that Jacksonville did on offense worked. Meanwhile, Houston struggled. 19 carries for 59 yards. Yeah, it's 3 touchdowns. He's a power back. So a lot of these are closer to the goal line, red zone. It's a really good thing to have Najee Harris. But, can he bust a few runs for 50, for 60? Maybe he's just not that guy. NTN, on the other hand, if he gets a full head of steam and some open grass, it's bye-bye. He gone. Here we go. Let's get to the receivers here. Big-time Jags. Ronald Abram. Kind of the forgotten guy here. We don't talk about Ronald Abram that much. We don't talk about Ronald. No. We don't talk about him. Because he hasn't really contributed as much as some of these other big names in Jacksonville, right? Cyborg, DJ Chark, even Beast, who has had his ups and downs this season, but he gets opportunity, all right? Come out game for Abraham, 3 for 121, 2 touchdowns. Cyborg does what Cyborg does. DJ Chark always a threat. Beast gets himself a touchdown. I mean, this is really tough to stop here. You got 5 guys, pitching in, and a lot of those guys with multiple catches. Let's get to the Texans. Texans have had this for a while. It's been the Owens and the Harrison show. Harrison being the elite receiver on this team. The unfortunate thing, he's got a guy called Steinbach throwing him the ball, which, he's overshooting Harrison and underthrowing him like you can't believe. And it's resulting in interceptions. So while I'm talking about each game, I'm going to talk about chat presence. I'm going to talk about how guys are still in the circus or they have magically disappeared. Jags leading the way in the chat. They're like level 70 or who knows what they're in. I'm pretty sure Malibu talks 24/7. He's got ghost riders, like guys that do the tweets for the president and stuff. He's got people tweeting his own stuff here in Circus. He's always active. He's doing a great job. But where's Mancha? Can you hear that? It's called losing. Get back in the chat, Mancha. If you're going to be in the chat, you be in whether you win or lose. Simple. Period. Done. Houston loses 39-32. Jacksonville in first place. Great chance for a high seed in the playoffs. Houston, better chance for a high draft pick. Next. Dallas, Washington. Washington gets the forced win because Dallas is still on vacation. Who knows what they're doing? I don't know. We don't expect Dallas to be in the chat because they're out there in Cabo or who knows where they're at. Having a great time. Listen, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy it. Because when you come back, you still got Billy Banks or whatever his name is, and he's trash. So unless you're over there in Cabo trying to find a new quarterback, you're coming back to a nightmare. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Washington. Taco doesn't really get in the chat much. Okay, when he does, it's a little zing here. John, he my boy. Or he thrashes John and then gets up out of there. And he's busy. He's got a robe on. He's got a nice little wizard hat. He's got his staff. And he's playing his Elden Ring and God knows what. Kudos to you, Taco. I understand what you're doing. Enjoy yourself. But get in the chat every now and then. Take a peek. Like and subscribe. We appreciate you. Next game. Tennessee, San Francisco. Oh, my goodness. And I wish that Rebel played better, man. I don't understand how inconsistent. The only thing he's consistent at is inconsistency. Rebel, this should have been an easy win. The Tennessee's quarterback is god-awful. Your offense is sick. Trey Lance, can't sack him. He's amazing. George Kittle, a goon, right? Terrell Owens Jr., the other guy Jr., Jerry Rice Jr. You've got so many weapons, dude. How do you only score 18, 12 in the fourth quarter? The Titans pretty much dominate this game, 35-18. The arrows don't really matter. 27 rushing yards from San Francisco isn't going to cut it. And there's too many turnovers. Big stuff here out of New Orleans. New Orleans says, Rebels' gameplay is like his mouth. Trash. Woo! Oh, it's getting wild here. It's getting wild in Circus. Let's keep it going. Keep it chatting. Let's dig in more. Trey Lance, 400 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Dude, this is not good. No one to throw the ball away. No one to take a sack. No one to run the ball. Do something. 18-27, and that's not bad. 66%. But the 4 interceptions are just, they're too costly. You're costing yourself wins here. Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. What are we doing with our lives? Chad Edwards, the rookie's been benched for the veteran. Completely, they went from Chad Edwards, hey man, you're the future, to get out of my face. You're horrible. We're going back to the veteran, 13 years in. Ryan Tannehill, 128, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Only 6 of 10, but that's Tannehill's game. He's a completion guy, okay? 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. We'd like to take the interception away, but hey, that's better than Edwards would have done. Moving on. What in the world is that? And I've seen it. I'm not watching this game. This is a horrible game to watch. It's a trash game. I'm not going to waste my time doing that, okay? But 13 for 115? Who does Tannehill think he is? And where is that D-line at? D-line completely out of the picture. And this is the problem with not having Warner anymore at linebacker. Listen, guys, some of you guys trade your best players like you're throwing away a brand new car. What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't throw away great players. And if you do, you better get such an insane haul that your team overall goes up. Not having Fred Warner, you let Tannehill run on you? That's a disgrace. That's horrible. You deserve to lose this game. Tennessee runs all over the 49ers. 49ers don't know how to run. 12 of 19. 12 for 19. 1.6. Gosh darn awful. Jerry Rice Jr., 5 for 243. George Kittle, 6 for 108. I mean, this is a really good job for two guys, but it's not enough. And to be honest, it's probably all trash because all these stats are all good and hooky dooky and all that good jazz, but you're taking an L to a team that you should have won. Once again, 49ers in trouble. You know, this is a battle of this is like a toilet bowl between these two. It's an out of conference toilet bowl matchup here. Tennessee wins this one. Titans, Oldenburg, 4 for 112 and two touchdowns. I like that with Tannehill to Oldenburg. Listen, I think Tannehill had a great job running this one game. You better chill the heck out if you think Tannehill's going to be running this ball more than just one game against San Francisco. That boy's going to end up on a stretcher. Throw some play action, get the ball to Oldenburg, find a way to run the ball with your free agent, Hilaire. Final score, 35-18. Both of these teams, you're in the pooper. Nobody cares. I just got to go over the game for contracts. That's what they pay me to do. Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Oh, man. Oh, the controversy. Get in the chat. Talk about this one. Pittsburgh finds Buffalo's offensive game plan on the field before the start of the game. One of the offensive coaches, or one of the head coaches of another program, the Jets, a rival, was at the game watching, and before the game, they managed to get their way onto the field. They walk by one of the Steelers coaches and drop the game plan. They drop it right there. The Steelers pick up the game plan. They read it before the game, and they put on a masterpiece. And they win the game 41-21. This game is 14-7 out the gate, and then 31-7 at half. So the game plan paid off. They got a quick lead. Listen, before I go into this game, and really I don't need to. That's the game, right? The game is the Jets organization gave Pittsburgh the game plan in order to stop Buffalo. They capitalize and they use it. Buffalo loses the game. So I'm going to tell you a true story here. And this is Mike Leach. I don't remember where he's the head coach of right now, but he's one of the fathers of the air raid. So Mike Leach is a goon, and he's a really smart dude. And so I'm over here, and I'm talking to some other coaches, and they give me this real story. And they say, listen, Mike Leach and his staff, I want to say they were at like Arizona or like a smaller school, and they were playing someone really good. On purpose, they had created the first 20 plays that they were scripting. So they created a script of the first 20 plays they were going to run, but it was fake. And what they did with that is they said, listen, we're going to create this script of 20 plays that we know are fake. We're going to drop it onto the field, and we're going to hope that the other team picks it up. And they did it in a way that you could tell what the play was going to be, but maintaining football verbiage. So like, hey, trio left, power left, Grizz. And you knew, oh, power left. Okay, hey, we know they're going to run power to the left on this play, right? So they go ahead, they drop this list of 20 plays that are fake. They made them up. They don't know if the other team picks up the plays or not. And they drop it and they walk away without turning back. They just walk away. What they actually did, and here's the genius part, okay, is that the real script of 20 plays that they were going to run were actually counters to that. So if the first play was trips left, power left, Grizz, then the play that they were actually going to run was trips left, like counter right. So they would go the opposite, and they were just hoping, hey, listen, we're going to have them slant their line, blitz their backers to the left. We're going to run counter out the backside because that's the counter to the play. So they do this. They have no idea if it works, okay? Until the kickoff. They get the ball, they start running the plays. They score a touchdown in the first 3 plays. And they go, oh my gosh, dude, the defense rolled to what we thought the fake play was going to be, and our real play worked. So after 3 plays, the other team doesn't figure it out yet. They're down 7-0. It's not a big deal. They get the ball back. They score another touchdown 3 plays later, make it 14. So now it's not enough, and you're still just like, man, okay, there's something fishy here, but we're just going to stick to this for a second. The third possession, they score in like the first play, okay? It's 21-0 in the first quarter. That's what they did. They on purpose dropped the fake play sheet, had the counters. They're up 21-0. Final score of that game, they lost 52-21 because the other team was way better and the other team adjusted. And it might have been Texas Tech, but it was hilarious. That's the story. This is what happened to Pittsburgh. They got the game plan. They were able to put it together. They win the game. 4 turnovers, a big problem here for the Bills. Let's get into it. Scott Hall. And listen, you may have had the offensive game plan, but what about defense? What happened defensively? Scott Hall, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 20 of 24 at 83%. So he may have had you down pat offensively with the game plan, but defensively, you got to play better defense against a Pittsburgh team that, they're okay. Josh Allen, 253, 3-1, 13-18. Not the end of the world. The biggest problem was the 3 fumbles by Josh Allen. That's the biggest problem. 3 fumbles by Josh Allen. It's unbelievable. Seems like the Jets organization actually dropped both game plans on them. It's awesome. I love it. If you ain't in a rivalry with your division guys, I don't know what you're doing. Listen, both teams go to run the ball. It's okay either way. The biggest story is clearly the fumbles from Allen. Receiving-wise, the Bills, DeAndre Moulds, Knox, these guys are the guys. Got to get A.J. Wallace probably a little bit more involved. But you took a beating. Listen, if you're the Bills, you just got to shake it off. Quan Howard, great day. The rest of these guys chip in. It's great. 41-21, the Steelers win. Listen, if you are the Bills, you have the AFC East right in your grasp. Look at me. Boogie, look at me. Stop being so sensitive every time you take a L. Stop being so sensitive every time somebody talks about you. They call your division the worst. They say you're not top 10 user. He gives up game plans. That's why these people messing with you. I need you to, hey, look at me. Don't turn away from me. You need to lock in. You need to win the AFC East, get back in the playoffs, which should be easy, and then you need to work your way back to a Super Bowl. That's the best revenge. Because if you don't do that, there's going to be a lot more trash talk, and it's going to be well-deserved. Steelers win this one, 41-21. It's only 1 L for Buffalo. Got to move forward if you're Buffalo. Pittsburgh in the wild card race here, 5-5. I don't think they're in the top 7, but they're working their way up there. Not a train wreck like they're used to being. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Big sneezes out there. Dolphins, Jets. Too busy dropping game plans over here in Buffalo that they didn't have to play their game. Miami wins it 35-10. We're just going to move forward. Talking about the chat. Boogie's been in the chat. That's great. Peyton, he's always in the chat. These guys are good. Rebel's always in the chat. Tennessee, he don't talk that much. So these guys, not a big deal. Baltimore, Detroit. The Ravens. Let's get into it. 33-7. Just a dominant win here. I mean, Detroit scores in the first quarter, never scores again. They create 4 turnovers. We're not going to get too deep into this game, just for the fact that Detroit is just not that good, and we understand that Baltimore is really good. 240 in the air, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Look at that. I mean, 82%. And even Detroit with Matt Stone, they do a good job, 13-18, but the 2 interceptions are too much. Both of them run okay. Like I said, this is a game where you got to get Barkley off. You got to get him pause. You got to get Barkley more touches. You got to get Barkley some more space. Because once again, if you think that Lamar's just going to win it with his arm, you're going to be in trouble come playoff time against an elite user. Get Barkley in the game plan. Receiving wise, let's go to the Lions first. Hockenson, Betts, and Thomas. Listen, Thomas, he's still playing in the league. That's great. With his 81 speed, Hawkinson's really the guy, but none of these guys. There's no deep threat here. Even Thomas isn't a deep threat. He's a slant guy. So where's your deep threat at? Where are you extending the field? It's just not there in Detroit. He's got to find a way. On the other hand, though, Jamar Chase, 7 for 132. Goddard, the tight end, doing a great job. Mecole Hardman, 2 for 16 on a touchdown. And doesn't really get Barkley involved in the pass game. No need to, though. Easy win for the Ravens. They move on 33-7. Easy game. Minnesota, Chicago. Yes, Prime. Pause. My fault. Minnesota dominates Chicago. I know that it's 23-14, but this is a game that, without the 2 turnovers for the Vikings, they probably make it even worse. Too much in. Look at the defense. Over 400 yards for Minnesota, 116 yards for the Bears. You might as well put the controller down, or you might as well just punt the ball on first down. That's how bad your offense is. Against an elite defense. Minnesota's defense is very good. Kellen Mond, great job. 236, 1-1 though. 1-1, 17-24, 70%. Justin Fields, just doing what Justin Fields does. He's just there. 99 yards, not a big deal. He's got to find a way to do better. Thad Castle, man, taking over. Injury, there's word on the street that Thad Castle tweaked a hammy. He's going to be out for the next game. But good old Dalvin Cook is rested and ready to go. Chicago, on the other hand, Tevin Caldwell. Not sure if he's going to take over for David Montgomery or what's going on. But we had 11 rushes for 30 yards. It didn't matter who was running the ball anyway. Bears, the running back is the leading receiver. 3 for 75. There's just no threats here. It's unfortunate. Montgomery's starting to see his role reduced. And maybe Montgomery needs to get back in the lineup because those points are reduced. Vikings, Jaden Collins, the rookie. 8 for 74. Justin Jefferson, 3 for 46. Justin Jefferson demands attention. So even if you have your best corner, you better put him on Jefferson, which means that Jaden Collins and all these other guys have to be able to contribute. They do that. 7 different guys get catches. Collins leading the way. And the Vikings win the game 23-14, a division game. Big game for them. I think that this is going to put them in a decent spot here for their division. Giants and Denver. The Giants go ahead. They have a good first half. They win it 28-10. Running and throwing the ball. Great balance. Denver, with a lot of yards, over 300, but it's just not enough. They're not putting up enough points on the board. Let's get into it. Joe Burrow. This is the kind of day he needs to have. 218, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. That's a great 18-23. Look at that. What a great job by Joe Burrow. He has a great day, and what a surprise. Because he has a great day, what happens? They win the ball game. What is this? Why is Ryan Robinson playing? Did Basket get hurt? Did something happen? 2 of 11. That's not unnatural for Basket. He's not any good. This isn't the real NFL. You don't have to sit the guy down. Keep going. Because this guy, Ryan Robinson, ain't too much better. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. You wasted an opportunity to dev your rookie quarterback. So that either means you're completely off of him and you need to draft somebody else, or you're trying to send a message to the computer, that's just foolish. This isn't real football in that regard. Very interesting. Ryan Robinson doesn't do any better. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins kills it in the running game, 16 for 129. Denver, decent job here, and by decent I mean god-awful. 10 for 22, they average 2 a carry. It's no good. Broncos, once again, Fant leading the way. Judy finally getting involved. Denver's just no good, man. They're just no good. I kind of want to say it's because he's doing. And I haven't played Denver in a while. When I did, he was using D-line. Everybody's talking about D-line. Get off the D-line, man. You can't give up 31 points because your offense isn't that good. You're going to have to find a way to use her a backer, a safety, a corner, something like that, and stop the bleeding because everyone's having a field day out here. Ingram, 7 for 78. Great job getting. I think Victor watches the show. That's what I think. What have I been saying? I said, Burrow, stop with the interceptions. Chill out. You're not that guy. Help lead them to victory. Don't think you're just going to take over by throwing it 50 times. That's number one. Dobbins, run the football. Dobbins come out here. He has a great day. Ingram, get Ingram involved. He does that. Giants win. I'm tired of giving out free information, but it's what the people want. It's what they need. Giants win it 31-17. Buccaneers and Saints. And let's talk about this. The score makes it look a lot better than what it was. But please understand that it was 42-14 going into the fourth quarter. The game was over. 42-14 in the fourth quarter. Okay? The fourth quarter is irrelevant at that point. The Buccaneers are playing as far back as they possibly can, allowing any play on offense to be successful as long as it doesn't go ahead and just result in points. Now, in doing that, the Buccaneers almost give the game away. But it was 42-14 going into the fourth quarter. Let's not forget that. Let's move forward and talk about this game. Davis Mills playing for the suspended Kyler Murray. 453 in the air, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But once again, a lot of this at the end of the game when nobody really cared. The Buccaneers defense was disinterested. The game was already in hand. So great job, Davis Mills, for completing some balls when the game was over. But it didn't matter. The game was 42-14, so trash stats as we call them. 25-33. Do that with Kyler Murray, though. Let's do this with Kyler Murray throughout the game. And I think that New Orleans is going to go ahead and have a great time. So if whatever you're throwing, whatever you threw here with Davis Mills, throw that with Murray, please. And then see if you get the same result. But right now, fourth quarter stats don't interest us or the league. Doesn't do anything. Jordan Love, 2-1. Easy day for him. Ronald Gibson, good job. Or Antonio Gibson, I'm sorry. 19 for 76, 2 tubs. Ronald Jones, 18. Both of these guys do a great job running the football. In the pass game, Godwin, the deep guy, as always. I mean, you just got to know who you're playing here. Godwin's that guy. He's the deep threat. Everybody else doing a great job. When he lets someone score 28 in one quarter and I don't lose, it ain't trash stats. It is trash stats. But that doesn't take anything away from you trying to fight back into the game. 42-14. That for you to come back is great. But understand the kind of defense that's being played. Less aggressive, playing more of an umbrella coverage, using the clock, allowing the completions. That's what the teams do. That's what happens. So just acknowledging that and moving forward. If it was all that gravy in the fourth, how come it wasn't all that gravy in the first 3 quarters? That's all I'm trying to say. So, with that point, it was 42-14. The game was in hand. The coach put all the other kids' players in, you know what I mean? Trying to make the mommies in the stands happy. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's go to the Saints and receiving corps. Perry Atkins, 10 for 189, 2 touchdowns. Lisby, 4 for 84, and then the tight end kicking in. So let's keep this going is what I'm going to say. Use this game as a springboard now. Let's put up another 40 next game. Put up another 35. I don't know who the Saints are playing next week, but let's put up another 35. Let's put up another 40 if you can. Right? At the end of the day, Buccaneers secure the win 49-42. They get a scare when they don't need to. So, and this is what I'm going to tell you guys. Nobody stops playing. Everybody keeps going in FML. Doesn't matter. 42-14, that's what? How many points is that? 28? I believe the rule is 24 and above you're supposed to stop, but or maybe it's 24 and above under 5 minutes. So he's still good. Everything's great. No violation. Everybody calm down. Stay out of the chat with violation. Everything's fine. okay? But you got to put a guy away when he can. Tampa Bay almost gives it away. Kudos to New Orleans for fighting back, but it's an L. Hmm. And with those two guys, listen, Bucks, he's always in the chat, as is Prime. So win or lose, appreciate you guys for digging into FML, getting in Circus, putting on a great show. All right, Las Vegas and the Shelbys. Oh my goodness. And here we go. We're just gonna get 6 turnovers from the Shelbys. And let's get into this. Listen, I might be the only person here in FML, and I might be maybe you guys can correct me in the chat. Correct me in the chat. I told you that the Chargers were fugazi. I told you they were fake. I told you they weren't going to do nothing. And the reason is because relying too much on Shelby. Doesn't have a pass game. Herbert's not that guy. We're in year 5 or whatever it is, and Herbert's still a bum. This is not good. 45-21 to the Raiders. If I went through the records, are all the Chargers' victories on guys 500 or below? Are all his losses to guys 500 or above? I don't know the answer to that. Somebody do some research. Check it out. But the Shelbys take a dirty L in the division. This is tough. 45-21. Not even close. Let's take a look. Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf starting to get a little loose. Starting to get a little loose with the ball. He's reading his own newspaper clippings. 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Listen, Ryan Leaf, I get it. You felt really good about interceptions. You're like, oh man, I got a lot of house money to play with. Be very careful as you guys move forward. Because if your goal is a Super Bowl, you better cut down on those interceptions and get back to what you were doing and how you were playing. Justin Herbert, a disgrace to quarterbacks. 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions. Now listen, Justin Herbert's a righty. He throws with his right hand. It is highly possible that Herbert is a lefty. He just doesn't know it. Because my wife could come out here and complete more balls than Herbert. This is a disgrace. 8 of 18 at 44%. This is just bad play. You're not going to beat anybody of significance like this. And this is, like I said, this is the 5th year for Herbert here. So at this point, he should be devved up pretty good. And you should have a really good handle on your team. Shelby, 13 for 105 for 2 touchdowns. He does a good job running the ball, but it's just not enough. They fall behind. The defense doesn't react well enough. Aaron Jones is able to run the ball too. Receiving wise, Stephon Diggs. Listen, great job getting Diggs involved. And I feel as though you guys, some of you guys, are really missing the point of some of the things that I say. I tell you, listen, get Diggs involved. Hey, man, get Keenan Allen. You're doing a great job getting him involved. Get some guys out here. What I'm telling you is do it with some caution. Stop throwing so many picks. Right? Don't matter how many times Stephon Diggs gets the ball. For every 1 catch Stephon Diggs had, he had 3. Herbert threw 2 interceptions. Oh my gosh. Not good. Let's look at the Raiders. Darren Waller, 6 for 87. Nothing but speed out here. It's too much. Raiders win the game. Chargers, the Shelbys, falling in the division, which we told you guys that's what was going to happen. Bengals, Seahawks. The witness. 4 turnovers from Seattle, 2 from the Bengals, and this is more the Bengals recipe. They need turnovers to win it. They know it. They love it. They're up in the half, 24-7. Kind of cruise the rest of the way. You know, they kind of let them come back a little bit, but they cruise the rest of the way. Let's get into it. Russell Wilson, decent job, but 2 interceptions, 8 of 15 at 53%. David Cummings, 61%. Once again, listen, Cummings, this might be good enough to get you into the playoffs maybe, but it's not going to be good enough to win those games. You're going to get bounced in the first round, second at most, if you don't clean up these interceptions. Cummings has too many INTs to really, truly be a contender. Score the rushes. Marlon Mack with a 10-piece. Naheem Hines. This is the Bengals way. Run the football. Cummings can throw some passes to opportunity, right? Take it easy. And then play smothering defense. This is the Bengals way. This is their recipe. picks at the end. I was trying things. Debo out here toying with his food. Oh my goodness. This guy's out here playing with his spaghetti. Eat your spaghetti. Stop playing with your food. Throw some picks, trying some things. And listen, when you're up by enough, you can do whatever you want. But Nyheim Hines, the recipe is there for the Bengals. Got to keep that going. Great job by them. Bengals, like a good neighbor, Corin is there every week. This guy is out here, 6 receptions, 94 yards. T. Higgins chips in, as do some of the rest. Cooper Kupp, 2 catches for 2 yards, but 1 touchdown. He's still alive. DK Metcalf, 4 for 98 with 2 touchdowns. Big day for him, right? That's a great job. 2 for Mack, 2 for Lockett. I mean, nobody else is involved. And listen, DK can eat that. He can have those stats. It's just not ending in wins. So it is what it is. But Seahawks play a clean game, 37-31. Welcome back, Seattle. Unfortunately, it's in a L. You're still in the pooper. Cincinnati fighting for a playoff spot. Woo! Cleveland and Green Bay. This is a great game. Now, with that being said, it's 24-10 at the half. Green Bay tries their best to fight back into the game. Unable to do it. They lose at 34-21. But you're talking about 2 elite users. 2 of the best users in the league. Super Bowl participants. Super Bowl combatants going at it in the regular season. And the game doesn't disappoint. 31-24. 3 turnovers for Green Bay, though, seem to be the difference. Let's get into it. Baker Mayfield, not a lot in the air. 131 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick, 9 of 16. Daniel Jones, 9 of 18, but 2 and 2. And once again, it's the turnovers. But both of these teams have amazing defenses. They fly around fast. It's very few teams can play either of these guys and not have turnovers. They're very good defensive users. They do a great job. Rushing the ball, they're both really great in the run game too, right? 18 for 153, 15 for 102. Both quarterbacks get a little involved here in the run game. I mean, what can you say? This is a ground battle with hard-fought defense. Browns in the air. Schwartz, 3 catches for 2 touchdowns, 65 yards. OBJ, you got 5 guys. Not a lot of stuff in the air, but Schwartz is the difference maker with the quality catches. Packers, Duron Carter, 1 for 74 and a touchdown. A one-hitter quitter. Oh. Look at me. Doc, look at me. Your violation hasn't been handed down yet. The next game you play, Kamara is still your leading receiver. In no way are you shrinking the gap here of your receiver to running back ratio that's going to result in a violation. Where is the remorse? Where is the attempt to adjust? I don't see it. We don't see it. Once again, blatant. Kamara leads the way with 3 catches. And I understand, well, man, it's only 3. He only has 2. You got to find a way to adjust the game plan and the game style. Because 1 catch here, 2 catches there is what led to the violation in Week 9, which is still yet to be handed down. This is like the judge giving a guy, hey, listen, we're going to let you go on parole. We haven't decided no, we're going to give you bail. We haven't decided your fate yet. You're going to go get bail. Go walk the streets. And the first thing you do when you leave the prison is you start robbing other banks. Bro, chill out with Kamara. I understand. I have a guy too. Does it again. It's wild. Doc, I need the rule to change as well. I need McCaffrey to be able to catch 10 passes a game or whatever when he's open. I need it. But not at this. Not at this expense. Not like this, I don't. Green Bay loses it 31-24. The Brownies win the game. Green Bay still in playoff hunt. and the division title hunt. Cleveland undefeated still. There's not too many games left for them that they have to worry about. They are almost a cinch for the 1 seed. Philadelphia, Kansas City. Mamacita. If you can out-offense pretty much the Kansas City Chiefs and control the pace, you deserve the win. 27-24, Philadelphia wins it. They run the ball a little bit more, control the clock a little bit more. Both of them play clean games, no turnovers. Let's take a look here. Patty Mahomes, 390, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Hey, listen, that's what he does. He leads the league in passing yards, leads in touchdowns, or he's second to Zach Wilson's very close. But Aaron Rodgers can keep pace. This isn't Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts wouldn't be able to do this. This would have been a loss for Philly last year. That Philly went out and got Aaron Rodgers has been an enormous upgrade. They are now number 1 in the NFC by themselves for the 1 seed. And they're not showing any sign of slowing down. Josh Jacobs, 16 for 71, 4 yards a carry. I don't know. Were they all inside zone? Probably. If I had Josh Jacobs, every single one's inside zone. Every single one's dive. I don't care. You don't like it, stop him. The guy's 5'10", 220 pounds. I don't care what you think. Danny Odom, couple carries as well. Everybody eating out here. And Benson, Devon Benson, he doesn't get anything going. 10 for 21. Chiefs have 0 run game, but that's not really the Chiefs' style. Oh, my goodness. The Chiefs in the pass game, mamacita. 8 for 250, 2 touchdowns. Benson, McMoney. These guys chip in, right? Only one catch from Kobe. Benjamin got a few. But, man, when Tyreek Hill's cooking like that, you can't believe it. Very tough to stop. Eagles, Jamal White, Curtis Samuel. I mean, these guys have done such a good job of getting the receiving core and the tight ends involved. Who do you stop? The leading receiver didn't have any touchdowns. Curtis Samuel had a touchdown. Quez Watkins had a touchdown. And then Kelsey keeps you honest. The Eagles are playing at a very high level right now. They're atop the NFC East. They're the 1 seed in the NFC. Man, we're excited to see how far the Eagles can take this thing because they are playing amazing football. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's pour one out for John and the Falcons, right? Carolina, 41-10. They go into the Georgia Dome, or whatever it's called now, Atlanta Stadium. Who knows what it's called? They come out with some good solid defense. They get a couple turnovers, and this was a very close game in the first half. It was 20-10 in the first half. So it was a close game, and then Carolina pulled away. Defense cinched it in. The Jacksonville Jaguars saying that this is the Eagles' year to win it. Does that mean that anything less than a Super Bowl becomes a disappointment for the Eagles? I mean, they went all in. They got Aaron Rodgers. They've got Josh Jacobs playing at a high level. They've got all the receivers. They got Travis Kelce, right? Curtis Samuel. They got quite a few guys on that team that are ready to go and win now. If the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl this year, is this the end of them? Is this it? Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that much left in the tank. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Georgia Dome. It'll never be that for me. Georgia Dome. So Hotlanta, 41-10. Deshaun Watson turning the ball over twice. Listen, they couldn't run the ball. Carolina Panthers played very good defense this entire game. Let's get a little bit more into it. Mac Jones, 321, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 20 of 24. A very good day for Mac Jones. But Deshaun Watson, he had a real problem making reads this game. Real problem. He was throwing in some double coverage, triple coverage. He took quite a few sacks, 5 sacks at 50%, 200 yards in the air, but threw 2 interceptions. Let's get to the rushing. CMC, listen, 13 for 65. He averaged 5 a pop, which is not bad. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not great, but it's not bad. Snell is bad. 12 for 21, 1.8. That's bad. Okay. So rushing wise, Atlanta can't get anything going. Listen, if you watch any of the Falcons games, they're doing a really good job of playing a lot more under center. Okay? And when you're playing under center, there's a lot of things you can do that you can't really do in shotgun. You get a lot more quick downhill runs under center. You get a lot better play action, turning your back to the line of scrimmage, getting those backers to suck in, and then coming out with play action going the opposite way. You can do a lot of things there. But if you can't run the ball, all of that illusion just goes away. Rashawn Snell can't run the ball. Really tough for them. And seems as though, they're going to have to shake this off or they're in trouble. Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 127. 2 of those with some amazing grabs. Doesn't result in a touchdown. His longest was 73. Had to result on Snell for getting into the end zone. But, the 4 guys, listen, Pitts, Adams, Ridley, every single one of them tried to chip in, but the Panthers defense is good enough to keep them out of the end zone. Panthers on the other side, though. Tremble, 6 for 103, 2 touchdowns. David Moore, 3 for 81 and a touchdown. McCaffrey, 5 for 80. Cage, the rookie, the fullback. And Robbie Anderson, 1 catch for no yards and a touchdown. I don't know. Hey, we'll take it. I don't know. 41-10, Carolina wins the game in a blowout. Atlanta needs to shake this off. This is just 1 loss. Doesn't matter. Shake it off. Carolina needed this win, though, because the Buccaneers they keep winning. They keep on winning. So now let's go ahead. Let's get into what everybody wants to see. Let's see what everybody wants to see. Playoff picture still locked. We're going to see it week 13. But guess what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about these playoffs. Let's get into it. First off, let's start with the divisions. Let's start with some division play here. AFC North. Oh, my goodness. The Browns undefeated. Clearly the 1 seed right now at 9-0. Ravens, they're working there. They're still in second. Bengals only 1 game off. That loss from the Bengals to the Ravens earlier in the year is the difference here. Because if the Bengals won that game, they're in second place. There's a big difference between being second and third inside this division, right? Possible playoffs or not, or a 5 seed versus maybe the 7. Much different matchup. 5 seed gets to play the Bills most likely. 7 seed's going to have to see probably Jacksonville. Big difference. Steelers at 5-5 though, they're sneaking. They're staying sneaky. Coming off a huge win, a huge win against the AFC East leading Bills. The Steelers are 5-5. So this division, which everybody was saying was just top heavy with the Browns and the Ravens, has turned into 1 guy being up top, no denying that, but 3 teams fighting for that second and third spot. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm going to say that the Ravens keep that second spot here. Bengals at the best chance are going to get the 7 seed. AFC South. Laughable division. Laughable. The Jaguars at 8-2. 0 competition in this division at all. The Colts 4-5. Texans 3-6. The Titans at 2-8. Jaguars clearly in the lead for the 2 seed right now, especially having beaten the Las Vegas Raiders head-to-head. That would give them the advantage for the 2 seed. The rest of these guys are just playing for draft picks. It's embarrassing. Moving on. AFC East. Still the worst division in FML. The Bills were coming off a 5-game win streak. 5-game win streak. They lose one to the Steelers. They're going to have to shake that off because they still have a 1-game lead over the Dolphins. The Jets in a downward spiral. Forced losses, rule violations, people out here getting crazy. And they have dropped 3 in a row now. The offense can't even get on the field. The coaches are helpless. At 3-6, their shots are probably done. They would need to probably run the table or only lose one more game in order to try to make the playoffs. This is real danger for the Jets. Patriots, they've been done. They're no good. They're looking for draft picks. Can the Dolphins come back and win the division? I don't think so. I think the Bills are going to shake off this loss to the Steelers unless everyone has now screenshotted the game plan, and now everyone's going to use that same game plan against them because they know that if Peyton can do it, I can do it. And the Bills are now going to struggle. We don't know what's going to happen. I think the Bills coaching staff is going to have to figure out a way to change up their approach to some of these games if something's not working. Jets are saying, I'm actually 2-1. I'm not dead yet. Yes, you are. You're dead. It's over. With that being said, continue to have a great season. At the best, you got to try to find your way to the 7th seed. But this division, it's over for you. Moving on. AFC West. The Las Vegas Raiders, 7-3, off of a dominating victory over the Shelbys. Dominating. This wasn't even close. Okay? Chargers 6-4, Chiefs at 5-4. All right? And the Broncos, just non-existent here. So let's go ahead. Let's dig a little deeper into this division. Because this is what's going to come down to here. Division wins. Raiders at 2-0. They got 4 games left to play. The Chargers at 2-2. This is not good. Once again, the Chargers, they're probably going to finish 3rd in the division. I think the Chiefs have a chance to go ahead and get to 2nd. But the Raiders clearly in charge of their own destiny. I think that they're going to be the ones that come out of it. I think the Chiefs are going to try to make their play for the 7th seed. Chargers, even if they get into the playoffs, they're too predictable, and it's over. NFC North. So the Vikings at 6-3, Packers at 6-4. The Vikings right now, having won 4 in a row, have all the momentum. The Packers are kind of reeling, still staring down a violation and a suspension, or who knows what it's going to be, that's going to affect this race. And like I said, when you're on bail, for good behavior, and the court trusts you, and they say, go ahead, hey, go roam the streets, come back later. You can't go out there and go rob a bank in the first 5 minutes. That's exactly what the Packers do. They're on bail. They commit another felony. Okay? We're going to see what happens here. Either way, Vikings, if they can go ahead and peel off another win, they'll be ahead of the division at 7-4 or at 7-3, and they'll have a 1-game lead. I do think the Vikings are going to, because they've already played and they've split, and let's go ahead and look at the division records here. Yeah, this is the Vikings division here. They're 4-1. Their last game is going to either be against the Lions or the Bears. That should be an easy win for the Vikings. The Packers, 2 conference losses. 1 to the Lions early. That's the Lions' only win in conference. And 1 to the Vikings, probably going to be the difference. And that's going to work. That's going to be a seeding thing, right? You could probably see the Packers coming in the 5 seed, playing the number 4 guy, or possibly the 6 playing the 3. Who knows? But a big advantage here for the Vikings getting late in the season. NFC South. Panthers have won 3 in a row. Buccaneers won 3 in a row. Panthers right now have just played their last game early this morning, beating the LA Rams, forcing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to now keep pace. And this is a race here between Tampa and the Panthers. Which one's going to slip up and lose first? Right now, they're both playing really hard. Panthers have a tough schedule coming up, with a few more users. We haven't looked at the Buccaneers' schedule. So the Falcons starting to slip, but they need to put together some wins in order to see if they can get to the 7th seed. Let's go ahead and take a peek here at the division. There's only one division game left here for the Panthers. That's going to be against the Buccaneers. Panthers already have got the first one. So they're 5-0, 2-1 for the Bucs. The Falcons in big trouble here, and the Saints winless. I believe the Saints and Falcons have one more matchup left. I cannot wait. It's going to be glorious. But this still, in my mind, seems though it's the Panthers division They're going to be somewhere in those top 3 seeds where the Buccaneers fighting for maybe the 5, maybe the 6, depends on the Packers and how they finish. NFC East, what was the most competitive division with parity has turned into a one-team race. The Eagles at 8-1, both Washington and the Giants 3 games behind, and both of them, all these guys, getting free wins against the Cowboys. Now, I'm not saying that the Cowboys would have won that game anyway. I'm just saying they're getting the free wins. Cowboys have dropped 7 in a row. They started off 2-0. Once again, we told you right here on the show. We told you Cowboys were fake, and Billy Baker ain't the move. We told you guys that. The vacation changes nothing. They're still where they would have been, which is in last place. Let's look at the conference, though, here. Let's take a look. Division wins and losses. 2-1 for the Eagles. 2-1 for the football team. The Giants at 2-2. But here's the deal. None of that stuff's going to matter if you guys don't catch the Eagles. If you don't catch the Eagles here in wins, you're going to be in trouble. Eagles in first place and the 1 seed at this moment. The question is, and I guess this is the thing, what place was the Eagles' schedule? Were they the 3rd place? I think they were the 3rd place schedule. Because they were the 7th seed going into the playoffs last year, where they lost a very close game to the Panthers in overtime. That's why they reloaded and are in a really great spot right now. But is it the 3rd place schedule? Is this success off the 3rd place schedule? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say the Eagles are playing at such a high level, it doesn't matter who they were playing. They're there for it. They're winning all the games they need to win. Eagles are the real deal. Schedule, not an issue. NFC West, Rams at 8-2. They come off a loss here to LA, or to the Carolina Panthers, but clearly they're still in control of their division, so they can afford that loss. And that loss right there benefits both the Rams and the Panthers for another playoff simulated game, right? A tough game, because we're not getting it in the divisions. Cardinals at 4-5. They're struggling. Koozie Gate. Hashtag boot Koozie. Is he tanking? Is he not tanking? There's some games he looks god-awful. There's some games he looks better. He's got to win some more games in order for me to really, really, really not believe that he's tanking, because he's better than this. 49ers, though, are not. They're 2-7. They're not better than this. They've dropped 6 in a row. It's really unfortunate. Seahawks have dropped 5 in a row. They're just as bad. Let's really get into the AFC now. Browns at the number 1 seed. Simple. Done. It would take the Jags running the table and the Browns losing 3 games in the last 8, which I don't see happening, in order for the Jags to overtake them and get the 1 seed. Browns, 1 seed, lock it in. Jaguars, they already own the head-to-head matchup against the Raiders. They're already 1 game ahead, too, in a super easy division. Jaguars, 2 seed, book it. Raiders, I don't see the Chargers catching them. I don't see the Chiefs catching them. Raiders, 7-3, as the 3 seed, book it. The Bills, even though they're all the way down here, I got to go down a little bit. Even though they're all the way down there, Bills are going to win the AFC East. I don't think that the Dolphins have enough consistency and enough firepower to go ahead and overtake the Bills. Bills win the division, 4 seed, book it. 5 seed, Baltimore Ravens. I almost want to say this is going to be a rematch. I think it's going to be a rematch of what it was last year in the playoffs. I don't remember who it was in the 4 or 5 seed. But if the Ravens are in the 5, that's a favorable matchup for the Ravens with a really stout defense and a good offense. They do play each other pretty well, though, so this is not a game. It's in Buffalo. It could be snowy. Advantage Buffalo, right? You don't want to count them out. You think that the Bills can win a home game, but I think this 4 or 5 seed is going to be the Bills, the Ravens. Book it. Here's where things get dicey. 6-7. 6 and 7. Look what we got. We got the Chargers, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Steelers. Let's just talk about the guys that are over 500. Okay? Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs, Steelers. There's only 2 spots left. Steelers, I appreciate you. You're doing a great job. You're out. You're out. Listen, you're probably going to finish somewhere around 500, something like that. I just don't think it's going to be enough. You're out of the playoffs. Chiefs, that offense is good. I think the Chiefs can figure it out. I think the Chiefs get in. Chargers, I think you're out. I think the Chiefs overtake the Chargers. I think the Chargers miss the playoffs. The Chiefs are in, and I think the Bengals get in the playoffs over the Steelers. So right now, you got Chargers, Chiefs fighting for a spot. You got Bengals, Steelers fighting for a spot. Who do you think's the better team? Think about it. Bengals or Steelers? I'm going to go Bengals. Who's the better team? Chiefs or Chargers? I'm going to go Chiefs. Chiefs and Chargers. Not sure if who finishes 6 and 7, but they're the 2 that are going to make it. Chargers, Steelers, you're out. Bengals, Chiefs, you're in. NFC now. Here we go. Rams at 8 and 2, the Eagles at 8 and 1, Panthers at 8 and 2. So right now, you got to give the advantage to the Eagles at 8 and 1. They're 8 and 1. They're sitting atop. They're the 1 seed. Panthers at 8 and 2. Rams at 8 and 2. Panthers just beat the Rams. So right now you could say what? You could say Panthers is the 2 seed, Eagles is the 1 seed. I'm going to be honest. Because that's what I got to do. I don't know if the Eagles can continue to win at this pace and end the season at 14 and 3. 15 and 2. Because the Panthers are still coming. The Panthers are not going to drop that many more games. Panthers might drop maybe 1 or 2 more games. They'll finish it at, 14 and 3, maybe 13 and 4. Are the Eagles going to be able to keep pace? Haven't looked at their schedule. If they can, if the Eagles can go 14 and 3, they're going to get the 1 seed. That's what I think. 14 and 3 is what you're going to need for the Eagles to be the 1 seed. Panthers, they're going to drop another couple. Don't know who it'll be to, but we'll drop another couple here. We'll finish at like 13 and 4, something like that. Because we own the tiebreaker against the Rams, I think that'll put us in the 2 seed. Rams in the 3 seed. That's what I think. So we're going to go Eagles. We're going to go Panthers at 2. We're going to go Rams at 3. That leaves number 4. Number 4 is going to come out of the Vikings and the Packers. I think that the Packers, and this is the truth, the Packers don't really care about the regular season. They've said that so many times that you can't ignore it, okay? They don't care about the regular season. They use it for labbing, then they turn it on later, okay? I think the Vikings, though, they know that they need to be playing at a high level when they move into the playoffs. They want that home game in the 4 seed. I think the Vikings win the division. Too many things against the Packers right now. Number 1, they don't really care. Number 2, violation incoming. Number 3, Vikings playing at a high level. I got to give the Vikings the 4 seed. Now let's get into the number 5. Buccaneers, 7 and 2. They still have a few division games left. They got one against the Panthers, which they could win. Right? The Buccaneers have split the season. They've split the series twice against the Panthers. The rest of them have been losses, but the Buccaneers have proven they can beat the Panthers. They can split a series. They're going to need to do that this year in order to really get maybe that 5 seed. 5 seed's going to play the Vikings, which the Buccaneers have played them before, and they've won. They've also played them before, and they've lost. So, would be an interesting matchup. We'll pencil them in at the 5. Here comes the 6 and 7. Packers, football team, Giants, Falcons. Those are the 4 teams. We're not even going to include the Cardinals because they're tanking and they're at the end. Okay? But here's what we're going to say. Cardinals, you're out. But I still need to see at least 8 wins or you're tanking. Falcons, you're out. You're too inconsistent. And look at your points for 219 are your points against. It's your defense that's going to stop you from getting to the playoffs. It ain't your offense. Okay? Giants, football team, Packers. These three teams fighting for 6 and 7. Packers, they're in. They're going to get in. Unless this violation is so insane that they sit Daniel Jones and they sit Kamara, or they give 2 forced losses or 3 forced losses. Unless this violation is insane, Packers are going to make the playoffs. They'll finish in, I believe, the 6, maybe the 7, which means that football team and Giants, they're the ones battling it out. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go ahead on a limb here. I'm going to say it because I got to say it. It needs to be said. Football team doesn't care enough at this point of FML. They're out. Football team is out. The Giants, because they care about it, they need it. The city of New York says if you don't get this done, you're fired. They're going to fire them. I think the Giants play with a little bit more desperation. They've got to find a way to win. Listen, look at me, Victor. Look at me. Look at me. If you can't make it into the playoffs with the Packers team that they don't care about the regular season, they're staring down violations. If you can't make it into the playoffs against the Washington football team that literally at this moment is playing Elden Ring with a staff and a wizard hat, you don't deserve to make it. And then let the circus shenanigans commence. Giants need to make the playoffs. If you can't make the playoffs after going to the NFC Championship game, asterisk, then there's going to be some shenanigans in circus. Giants need to make the playoffs. They cannot let the football team or the Packers take that 6 or 7 spot away from them. So I'm going to say because of that and the desperation and the motivation I've just given Victor, the Giants get in the playoffs. Taco's out. He doesn't want to be in any way. He wants to go play Elden Ring and all these other games that he's got. Okay? So that's it. That's what we're looking at here for the playoffs. Not sure how far this thing's going to go. You know what I mean? As far as, is this going to stay the way it is? We're only in week 11. There is a lot of football left to be played and big time matchups. Listen, stay with it. Show after the advances. Usually 10 o'clock. I'm going to let you know when, though. We're going to have a great time. You like what you see? Like, subscribe. Follow, subscribe. Gas is $6. Daddy needs that cash. I'm out of here. I'll see you.